What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Shade Tree Garage video. Today we'll be bringing you a car that has over 1100 wheel horsepower, and it's for once not a Nissan, it's not an R35, something completely different. It's one really bad Camaro. This is a 2014 ZL1 Camaro built by Hennessey in Sealy, Texas. This thing is nothing short of insane. Hennessey does not build currently a Camaro that will compete with this Camaro on the same grounds. You may have heard of the Exorcist, but this is something on its very own. They do not share a lot of parts, they don't share a lot of anything. The only thing that they pretty much have in common is a 4-digit horsepower number, and this one is still higher, and that's about where the similarities is. When this specific HPE1200 Camaro was made, the Exorcist wasn't even a thought in Hennessey's eyes. This car was a one-of-one at the time and still is a one-of-one Camaro to this day. It was the first car to be able to wear the HPE1200 badge, and I'd say it represents it pretty good. While the Exorcist is only making 1,000 at the tire, like only 1,000, right? This thing's making 1,145 horsepower at the tire through everything. And then on top of that, it's being powered by a 427 built LSA with aluminum pistons, forged connecting rods, making just over 1,109 foot-pounds of torque at the tire. Now, all that is luckily assisted by 2 fuel pumps, and it's running on C16 race fuel. There's some awesome videos of this thing running on the dyno, unleashing all of its horsepower. At Hennessey Performance. It's been listed on numerous different websites such as Top Gear, GMB. It's been hiding in a very secure location on very low key. This car's not been posted anywhere really since then. Now on the dyno, they did have a fast LSX intake manifold, and now we're running an LME intake manifold. It's because we did have a danger to manifold situation. And it did crack the LSX intake. Now we're running the LME intake manifold on this thing, and this one is rated up to 75 pounds of boost, so this one should be good for a very long time. One of the coolest things about this HPE1200 Camaro is that it is driven through a manual transmission, making it the only HPE1200 package at the time to receive a manual transmission. The owner has went ahead and upgraded it to a Hurst quick throw short shifter. These power levels, stopping becomes a really big concern. The factory Brimbos would not have been up to the task, so the owner did opt to upgrade to the bigger Brembo 6 pots up front, as well as the bigger Brembos out back, not just in the front. Does have a custom set of Hennessey wheels with the Nitto tires, 275 up front with the 305s out back. So they did dress this thing up really nice under the hood. The billet LME intake manifold goes really good with the billet valve covers, as well as the catch can powder coated in a nice crinkle coat black. All crimped custom AN style line. Very good for heat resistance. All the spark plug wires have insulation on there. This specific red hot ZL1 has every dealer option that you could get at the time. It comes fully loaded, everything minus the sunroof. This car is in such immaculate shape that it has been kept in a climate controlled showroom bubble since the owner received it back from Hennessey. He will remove the car every now and again, fire it up, and keep the fuel flowing, keep the fluids going just to keep the injectors clean, but it pretty much lives climate controlled, pest controlled. The thing stays perfectly. Speaking of clean, this car's never been detailed by the owner. It doesn't have any of those new scratches from dirty brushes. The only time that the vehicle was ever detailed was by Hennessey themselves. If you were to compare this car to the Exorcist setup, the Exorcist is running just basically a factory car with a factory supercharger. It's just an upgraded supercharger, and then with basically some supporting mods with upgraded heads and then an upgraded fuel system. Now this thing compares in a different way. A turbo car will make a much different power band than a supercharged car, much different noises than a supercharged car, and to each their own with that. People have their own views on supercharger versus turbocharger, but this specific deal, they ripped no more supercharger for the ZL1. Instead, we got 2 sweet bottom mount precision turbos, which if you know your precision turbos, they make a lot of noise out back, which is why this thing sounds so cool. So not only are you owning kind of a really awesome setup car, you get to live with some of the best noises a car guy can want. It's basically a fucking airplane in your driveway. For as much power as this thing is making, you may be saying it doesn't look like a race car. It's not screaming, hey, come race me. I got a 15-inch drag radial with a huge parachute hanging off back into this thing. The only thing to the unsuspecting eye, it may seem like something you just want to pull up to and you're like, oh, I can mess with this guy. I've got a 650 horsepower kit on my car.
until you hear it's full up from a red light, and then you realize that you really messed up. Because to the untrained eye, it just looks like a Camaro with some very nice badging, very nice wheels. It's Yanko styled, it looks really good, almost classic retro. So to the untrained eye, this car may be like something that you want to pull up on and you can race it because you have 600 horsepower and you think you're bad. But really, this thing, as soon as it pulls up, you're going to be like, oh damn, what the hell did I just do? And what is that thing? Because it's not screaming, I'm a huge race car, come get me, come get me, come chase me. Now to the trained eye, you may see and notice the intercooler that comes standing up through the front grille and lower fascia, because how they nicely did it with the black clamps and the black couplers. Because to my eye, I know that if a car's got an intercooler that tall, I'm not going to mess with a car with an intercooler that tall. My intercooler ain't that damn tall, so you know that that is just something you don't want to mess with. So what's really cool about the setup and how it's kind of sleek and it's not screaming race car, you have people with a 427 Corvette or Camaro, kind of like with what Cletus McFarlane is running, with two huge precision turbos mounted up the top and in your way of the windshield. I'm not saying that's not cool, that's awesome, but it holds its own place. That's a race car, it's screaming race car, come get me, I'm here to not mess around. This thing, with them being tucked under, you almost don't know that they're there, and unless you know what to hear or what to look out for, you're not going to suspect it. So overall, this car is styled very well. The owner definitely was inspired by the older style Yanko Camaros. As you can see with a lot of the touches that are around the car and nicely placed, just like up here on the windshield, as well as the Yanko style stripe on the side, which is custom, as you can kind of tell, the Yanko guys, with the Hennessey at the back, as well as an original 69 Camaro emblem bow tie right there on the back of the trunk. It's very tastefully done next to the 427 emblem. I think this thing is definitely 101, looks very good. He just told me that this thing is for sale on eBay, which is news to me. So go check it out on eBay. I'll throw the link in the description. It looks really cool on there. Just go check the car out. Show your dad. He'll understand the Yanko freaking styling. This thing looks so damn good. It's a 101 car. I really suggest going and check it out. You know what? If you make a bid on it and buy this thing, he may even throw in the Hennessey trailer that's out back. 30-foot Hennessey enclosed. Be perfect. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out. I definitely appreciate you guys. I enjoyed making a different kind of video, a car review. I've been wanting to review this car for a long time, ever since I found out that it was here in my town. This is a 101 car, and it's just something that's out of this world. I've been a fan of Hennessey for a very long time, and to be able to even be around this and in its presence, and me building cars gives you something to want and something to improve on, and a need that a certain level that I want to reach as a mechanic one day, and something that I'm going to aim to be. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.